Hey, we're here again on this another episode of Diagnosing this car. I have a 2010 Toyota Camry with a P0171 fuel trim issues, system 2 lean on bank. Well, there's only one bank on this because it's a 4-cylinder. But the first thing I have to do on this car is check my scanner, namely see if you can see that. There you go. AF sensor, the voltages, coolant, engine speed, fuel trim, which is one of the important things, mass airflow sensor, O2 sensor on the rear, that's the ohm reading, O2 sensor impedance, and short-term fuel trim. So the first thing I'm going to check is trying to find out if there's a vacuum leak. And to do that, usually is simple. When you're on idle, watch our, see if I can give you a good, there you go. So watch our fuel trim as I step on the gas slowly. So if you step on the gas, you should see some drop on the long-term fuel trim and the short-term. And right now it's really slow when it gives you that drop. So, and then you look at your mass airflow sensor, which is that should be normal right now on a almost 3000 RPM. And then your AF sensor on the top, if I snap the throttle, I should see a spike on that graph. There you go, see that spike down? So, and then it'll go back to normal, which is 3.3 something, and it should stay there. Right now it is low. There you go. And our fuel trim is back to there. Again, if I snap it, the fuel trim doesn't respond quickly enough. So the next step is, what I do is to clean my mass airflow sensor, and that doesn't really help. So what I did is I went and grabbed another mass airflow sensor from a different car, and sure enough, my reading on that went down a little. It went down to 21, but still not good enough. And on this car, when you have a fuel trim issue like that, you got to consider everything. AF sensor, O2 sensor, all that communicates together. The ECT, the coolant temp, the mass airflow sensor, all that relates to it. And then if you went through all of that and find out nothing is wrong with all of them, or they're responding, what I do on the AF sensor, on those AF sensor and O2 sensor, I will unplug a vacuum, and I will spray brake clean or anything, starting fluid in there, just to see if those numbers changes. If I spray fuel, it means it's gonna go rich, so my fuel should change. It varies, especially the rear O2. It should see that. The fact that right now it's not seeing anything, pretty much like it's too low because the car is running so lean. So so I eliminate that problem on the O2, because every time I dump fuel in it, every time I add fuel, those numbers changes. So that tells me that it is working properly. Now the next thing I want to do is put a fuel pressure gauge in there, and that's one an accurate way to read a fuel pressure if your car is running lean, if everything else passes. In here, as you can see, I'm on 30 psi. My specifications is calling for between 44 psi to 50, and that right there is what would cause this problem. Now I had another hookup in here. This is my fuel induction kit that allows me to induce fuel additives or cleaning detergent to clean the valves and injectors. It allows me to dump fuel on a separate tank, or kind of like regulator. So I had some fuel in here, and what I did is I put about 50 psi pressure in there, and I regulated it. So if I force that fluid to go in, which I'm about to do now, my gauge should climb up. As you can see, it did. And now you watch my fuel trim as that happens. Matter of fact, watch all of it. See my O2 sensor, how it climbs up, reading that sudden change. You see my short term going negative. So if I snap the throttle, that should give me a really big change in all of that reading. Let's see, right now, there. So I'm gonna snap the throttle or go to high RPM. That's a good one. Snap it again. See that? That's a good spike I'm talking about. It went high and then low. My O2 sensor is now reading rich lean, and look at my fuel trim. Look at my short term. It's negative. Now my long term is compensating, and which is now I'm within the specs, because my fuel trim specs should be 20%, not more than that, or maybe 15. But man, this car has a lot of room for the fuel trim. But that right there tells me that I'm within my specs. By the way, you gotta add both the short term and the long term, and get your total fuel trim. That will be your accurate answer. Yeah, I like it right now. So there you go. That's really the best way to find out if you have a fuel trim issue, a lean code. Really watch your fuel trims, because those numbers does not lie. They will help you a lot and give you the exact answer that you wanted. See? So I'm gonna wrap this up and call it stat. It needs a fuel pump. I hope I helped you out. So till next time again, hopefully we'll have something interesting again, and just follow me next time, and hope you like this video. Thank you. Till next time.